Essentially, the challenge is, starting on March the 31st, 2021, we got 6 months to cover something like 9,554 miles. Back in 2007, when I thought I was indestructible and I was in the army and I thought I was going to live forever, I was diagnosed with something called very severe aplastic anemia, which is essentially bone marrow failure. And I can remember saying to the doctor, I was with my mum, and I was just like, "Doctor, how serious is this?" And he's like, "It's very serious." And I was like, if this is the common cold, and if this is like dying, whereabouts am I? And he was like, "You're here." And I was like, whoa. I've always had it in my head that I wanted to somehow repay. I feel like I've taken an awful lot, and I've been given an awful lot, and I'm very lucky. And then when my third come along, Teddy, and he was diagnosed with his heart condition. He's essentially got heart failure, and they did an operation on him, and he's had open heart surgery, and he's got multiple holes. The doctor actually says his heart's Swiss cheese, basically. Basically, with what's going on with Teddy, with what I've had, I was just like, I've got to do something. I can't just keep taking and taking and taking. I'm very lucky, so if I can have some fun and raise some money, that's it. My wife, Becky, has always said to the kids, when they're putting them to bed, "Love you to the moon and back." I Googlised it, and I was like, let's have a little, I thought, "Love you to the moon and back." I wonder if anyone's ever had that, as a website or anything. Little did I know, I put in "Love you to the moon and back," and it's a brand, it's a saying. And I said to Becky, I was like, "You didn't make that saying up." And she was like, "I never said I did." I very cleverly, with a calculator, worked out that basically, if I count if every 1 mile actually covered on Earth, in any way possible, is, if that is actually 1 mile covered on Earth, is 50 space miles, and that actually comes to, I think, something like 9,554 miles. So if you did 9,554, I believe, and times that by 50, that is the distance to the moon and back. So I was like, right, let's round it off to 10 grand. Let's raise 10 grand for 4 charities. And that's basically that's the science behind it and the maths behind it. So the 4 charities are, one is for the Aplastic Anemia Trust, which is set up obviously to research into aplastic anemia and other rare bone marrow failing diseases. And there's for the British Heart Foundation, because of my son, Super Ted.
Then it's SANS, a charity supporting anyone affected by the death of a baby.
And the other one is the Jack Hasleen Foundation, which works with young people by means of mentoring and tutoring. Basically, young kids who've got all sorts of problems and issues and stuff in life, and it's trying to reintroduce them back into school and back into kind of mainstream society. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna run 2,000 miles. Okay, those 2,000 miles are £2,000. Okay, and that 2,000 miles is 100,000 space miles, because it's times by 50. People, that's my personal pledge, and people can donate to Merv's pledge. Or if people think it's a great cause, they can also become astronauts. And to become an astronaut, you get logged on as a crew member. Okay, and to be an astronaut, you have to pledge to raise a minimum of £100, and that's cover 100 miles. Okay, and then people essentially could sponsor your pledge. Okay, so, and then also you could just be someone who doesn't want to sponsor me personally, doesn't want to be an astronaut, but if you just want to donate, you can log on and just donate. And if anyone donates £1, that's 1 mile on Earth, that's 50 space miles.